Stephen, such a pleasure to meet you.
Well, thank you. It's nice to meet you.
What a fabulous artist you are. I've heard so many good things about you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to share my work with you.
Well, this is one of your pieces on display here at the Desert Art Collection. Can you tell us a little about this? I mean, I know when people look at art, everybody sees something different. But what's your perception of this piece?
String theory is about vibrating strings to the frequency of the cosmos. And what they suggest is that these frequencies actually cause these strings to coalesce, and the triangle is one of the primordial shapes that come out of that. And the geometry of the triangle is what comes together to make electrons and the atoms that make our cellular structure, and it's sort of what creates our physical reality. So here you see the dancing strings, and you see them coming together to create the triangles, and you'll see there's a large triangle that holds the whole composition together.
Now, Stephen, this is the quantum still life painting we were talking about.
That's right.
Tell me about it.
Well, as you can see, there's some of these strings that we saw in the last painting. So basically, I draw upon my abstract expressionist background, and I paint the whole canvas full of these strings. They're vibrating, they're splashing, they're dripping, and then essentially I'm painting out everything that is not a flower. And so really what we're seeing is the quantum field that is giving us the reality that we perceive based on what the quantum field is projecting.
What a wonderful, wonderful approach and concept. Now we're going to look at a painting. It's a triangle. It's a prominent image.
Right.
Good. Let's do that.
Okay.
We're talking with Stephen Linsteadt, artist at the Desert Art Collection. He's got works all around the world. We're looking at a piece now, and he's describing to us things about how the triangle works in his work. Stephen?
Yes, well, as we were talking about before, the triangle represents the geometric pattern that is the foundation of the atoms that create our cellular and our whole reality. And what you see here is, this is Alice in Quantum Land, and Alice is asleep, but as she's asleep, her whole reality around her starts to show its true nature. So you see the bedstand is actually not really a bedstand, but is kind of a bedstand. And as you come back over here, you see that the flowers are also kind of creeping out of the mirror, and even the mirror itself starts to dissolve back into that quantum field. So the painting is really all about our perception and how our perception creates our reality.
Well, it's certainly a very unique piece, and I'm noticing it's almost like three paintings in one, because you've given it that horizontal length.
Right. It is three different panels, but because of the triangular composition, they all interlock.
Ties it together.
Right.
So, Stephen, we were talking about Alice in Quantum Land. Now, this piece is Alice lost in Quantum Land.
Right.
Tell me about it.
Well, again, the painting is based on the geometry of the triangle. And in the novel Alice in Wonderland, the checkerboard was used to represent time and space. And so from that quantum perspective, this painting is used to represent the idea that we are lost in time and space, which is why Alice is missing.
Very interesting.
Okay.
Now, this other piece you have here at the Desert Art Collection is very, very unique. And in my notes, I see that you call this quantum perception.
Right. Well, quantum perception is, again, about how the quantum field is there at our disposal, and it's our perception that collapses that field into our physical reality, which has implications in our relationships and our physical health. So what I do is I invite people to come and experience their own perception, so they're creating their own quantum art piece. So I've asked Maria Elena to come and have a quantum painting experience.
Oh, you can actually change the perception of the painting.
That's right. So it's based on your own personal aesthetics, and everybody walks away with their own individualistic painting.
Well, Stephen Linsteadt, let me tell you, I've enjoyed interviewing you very, very much. What a great piece to work with, to have in your home. Well, Stephen, it was certainly great talking to you, looking at your art, interviewing you. Good luck with your show in February.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for having me.